Hi to everybody, and once again, it's a big pleasure to be here with you, and also a big applause and congratulations to Asia Pacific for once again to be the region who is leading in implementing the regional evaluation strategy with, for example, today, this Asia-Pacific Regional Dialogue on National Evaluation Policy and Systems. So really congratulations to all stakeholders involved on this. So just very briefly, I've been asked to talk about the importance of national evaluation policy and systems in the SDGs era. But so to start with, let me remind why evaluation is so important to SDGs. And mainly it is because evaluation is an integral part of good governance for the SDGs. For three reasons. First, because it promotes accountability to citizens. Second, because it supports the design and implementation of effective evidence-informed national development policies. And third, because it's really a way to learn what works for whom, why, and under what circumstances. Now, it's very important to remember that national evaluation capacity development is so complex that it needs a system approach to it. And here in the diagram that you see on your screen, I tried to summarize what do we mean with this system approach. Well, in the past, the focus has been very much on the individual level, on strengthening individual capacities. And mainly it was about individual capacities of evaluators to provide and to supply good quality evaluations. But it's also very important to focus on the demand side, on the capacities of policymakers to demand and use evaluation for policy decisions. But individual is just one component. Then it's very important also to focus on the institutional level, on strengthening policies, procedures, and framework to strengthen evaluation at country level. And then the third level is the enabling environment, having policies and legislations and norms for evaluation. And always looking both at the supply side and the demand side, and always having approaches that are led by and owned by the country. Now, I said countries and not government by purpose, because different stakeholders have different roles to play. Obviously, government and public administration have a key role to play. They need to be committed to manage for results accountability. They need to be committed to transparency, result-based public budgeting, evidence-based policy making. But also civil society has a very strong role to play. We need strong civil society where rights holders are able to demand for and monitor quality of public services. And we also need strong national VOPEs that can foster indigenous demand for monitoring evaluation and strengthen indigenous supplies of monitoring and evaluation. And therefore, a systemic approach to capacity development for evaluation is about institutionalizing independence, credibility, and utility. So we need system and procedures for that. But it's also about having a work program and a budget ensure for that. And then also systems that endorse standards for evaluation and a quality assurance systems that ensure that these standards are actually implemented in the conduct of evaluations. And here comes the importance of national evaluation policies. National evaluation policies are really the national framework, normative framework, that really guide the entire evaluation function in the country. Because a national evaluation policies make clear what's the rationale for conducting evaluations, what's the purpose and objective of conducting evaluations, what are the principles that they should guide evaluations, what are the definitions, what are the roles and responsibilities of different stakeholders, and what are the resources that should be devoted to evaluation. But then policies, as I said, is just a normative framework, but then we also need national evaluation systems that's really help to implement the national policy. And for national innovation system to actually work, we need strong leadership from governments, or at least from national champions. We need accountability mechanisms, of course, human and financial resources, and institutional and individual capacities. So to finish, just 5 lessons from around the world when it comes to national innovation policy and systems. First, that they must be led and controlled nationally at country level. Second, evaluation should be integrated into the national budgeting and financial planning. Third, countries should work in a coherent manner within existing institutions through coordination structure and through ongoing public reform processes. Fourth, I already spoke about the importance of different stakeholders, but we really need to ensure inclusiveness through a multi-stakeholder engagement plan. So it has to be intentional, the engagement of different stakeholders. And last but not least, it should be oriented towards supporting national implementation, including implementation, evaluation, findings, and recommendations. So it should really orient it towards supporting the implementation of the nationalized or localized SDGs in any given country. And the good news is that when it comes to national innovation policy and systems, there are already free resources available. And I would like to invite all of you to download for free the guidance on how to develop national innovation policy and systems with a specific focus on integrating gender equality and social equity. So thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you a good job and a good work. Bye-bye.